If you clicked on this video, you probably just finished the amazing series of Cyberpunk Edgerunners on Netflix and you are just hungry for more. Look no further, you came to the right place. In this video I compiled a brief summary of the game and what your expectations should be going into the game and if it's worth it for you. I'm sure you already have been fearmongered by either Redditors or Twitter users to not play the game because it has bugs and it's unfinished and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Don't get me wrong, there are certainly plenty of bugs and plenty of things that are wrong with the game right now. But I assure you, if you fell in love with the world of Cyberpunk after watching the show, you will love Night City even more after playing this game. The world of Night City, when it works, is simply beautiful, especially on high graphical settings. The world might not feel as alive and as detailed as games such as Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5, but if you manage to look past the behaviors of the NPCs, it definitely feels like you're in a dystopian California, or just modern day California, depends on your perspective. I would say gameplay is not what you would come to expect from a Cyberpunk game, and it's certainly not what we were promised before the game actually came out. The closest I would have to compare it to would be the kinds of Far Cry open world games with a lot of markers and side objectives to do, like police gigs or cyber psycho sightings and etc. But there's plenty of very good side quests to be experienced in the game itself. I would say some of them even better than the main quest line. The zones do have level restrictions as it goes for difficulty. That does not stop you from traveling to all of them, even the most dangerous ones. After you finish the game's prologue, you can just travel completely freely. It's your typical first-person shooter with RPG mechanics. What's cool about Cyberpunk is that you don't only level your abilities up with points that you gain from experience, but as well through just playing with specific weapons or using specific abilities to level up your skills. For example, silent takedowns will raise your stealth skills, using shotguns will raise your annihilation skill, which corresponds to shotguns and LMGs. Makes the game a lot more versatile depending on what you want to do, making it easy to do whatever you want your V in the game to do. That being said, build variety is not as big as you would want it to be, leaves much to be desired on repeated playthroughs. You're pretty much guaranteed to have a unique experience on your first 3 playthroughs or so with different builds. Without going much into detail and spoiling the game for you, characters in Cyberpunk 2077 are about as memorable as those in Edgerunners, I would say. You may not have blue gremlins waving their pink guns around or short-haired girls using a string as a weapon, but you can get pretty damn close at times. Characters such as Jackie or Johnny, who you will meet throughout the game, are very memorable, and even I myself, after almost 2 years of not playing Cyberpunk or touching any Cyberpunk media at all, found myself remembering them very fondly. Bugs are the big bad ugly of Cyberpunk. They can be quite overwhelming at times. You will have situations where you are immersed listening to dialogue in a scripted location, feeling like you're almost watching a movie, until all of a sudden someone clips through the wall and ragdolls onto the floor. Now, don't get me wrong, these can be funny at times, but my god, does it destroy your immersion in the game. The bugs are certainly not even close to being as bad as they were back when the game came out, but it's still not at the expected AAA standard as it should be at. There were moments in my playthrough where I got soft lock and had to restart from a save 15 minutes before my last one. These things happen and you need to keep an open mind and remember to hit that F5 key more often than you would in other games. That being said, they are not overwhelmed. Through my 40-hour playthrough that I just played a week ago, I'm at around 3 soft locks and mostly unimportant visual bugs, like someone's phone clipping through a hand. Not very much so gameplay related bugs, more so just visual. I won't go too much in detail about Cyberpunk's soundtrack, because you most certainly have heard most of the very good songs in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I was a teenage outlaw with no worries on my mind. And now I'm getting older, my heart is growing colder all the time. Don't need a hide, I'm your employer and I am your guy. I want to, I want to, I want to, I want. I fuck you. I think all the songs for Cyberpunk Edgerunners, or almost all the songs, are from our actual game, so you should expect those in the soundtrack. Besides that, they do have some pretty good songs in the on the radio when you're driving cars, or when you're inside and there's a radio playing. There is a lot of good musical pieces there that will immerse you into that world even further than it already does itself. In summary, if you are someone who just finished Edgerunners and you are just starving for more Night City action and you want to jump in right now, my advice would be just do it. But if you are on the fence of buying Cyberpunk and don't really maybe have the money to buy it at full price, I would advise you to wait till the DLC releases next year. It's about the same time they will release another major patch for the game as well, so it will be a huge content drop. As I'm making this video, the 50% sale of Cyberpunk is over, so unless you have the $60 or I think $40 to buy it, I would recommend just waiting out either for the DLC or the Christmas sale that is approaching us. Unless you just want to jump in right now, which isn't a bad move either, I recommend it. Also, don't buy it on PS4 or Xbox One. I don't think they got the new updates, and I think it's still a buggy mess and it's completely unplayable. So yeah, buy it on PS5, new gen consoles and PC. Yeah, thanks for watching.